Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Max AC channel. For this month, we will be doing Juicy June, where we will be focusing on 4 different drinks that use fruit juices in their recipes. For this episode, we will be making some Subak, watermelon, Soju. For this recipe, you will of course need a watermelon. I recommend using a mini seedless watermelon, but of course any type should work as long as you adjust the amounts accordingly. Speaking of which, for a mini seedless watermelon, you will also need 355 milliliters or 1 bottle of Sprite or 7-Up. I recommend using Mexican versions of these sodas, since they taste better in my opinion, but of course use whatever you like the best. And to make this refreshing drink a little boozy, you will also need 375 milliliters or 1 bottle of Soju. Any flavor should work, but to keep it simple, I went with the fresh flavor. And if you can't find Soju, you can also substitute with some white rum or vodka, though I would recommend putting in a lot less, since Soju is typically around 17% alcohol, whereas hard liquor is about 40%. So, unless you want to get really drunk, I recommend only putting in a couple of shots. And of course, if you don't want to have any alcohol in it at all, you can substitute the Soju for another bottle of lemon lime soda. First, cut off the top of the watermelon. We will be using the watermelon itself as the cup, so I recommend cutting off no more than 1 to 1.5 inch off the top. Though, of course, if you want to use a different cup instead, you can cut up the watermelon normally. But if you are going to be using your watermelon as a cup, I recommend choosing one that has a flat bottom. But if you can't find one, you can of course cut a bit off of the bottom if needed. Once your watermelon is ready, scoop out all of the watermelon meat. I found it easiest to scrape the meat using a smaller spoon, and then scooping it out after it has loosened. This step takes a bit of time, but I think it's worth it to have a fun cup to drink out of. But again, if you want to be boring and use a normal cup, just cut up the watermelon and cut the watermelon meat from the rind. Next, once you're ready, place the watermelon pieces into a blender to break it down into a smooth juice. You can really stuff the blender since watermelon flesh is relatively easy to break down, but of course you can do this in multiple batches if needed. Then, once your watermelon is juiced, strain it into a pitcher or some sort of container. This step is optional, but it gives the drink a nice and smooth texture, so I recommend doing this to remove any of the pulp and seeds that didn't get blended up. Then to your watermelon juice, add in the soda and Soju, and then give it a little stir. You can pour this into your watermelon now with some ice and drink it as is, but if you want your drink to be extra refreshing, and if you want to avoid making another mess, I recommend throwing it into the freezer along with your watermelon cup for 3 to 4 hours to make a slushy version of it. Then once that's ready, just scoop it into your watermelon and your Subak Soju is ready to drink. I always love drinks that come in a fruit, especially if it was used to make that drink. So when I first saw this recipe, I had to try it right away. This recipe comes from Sungkyung Longest's website, which has a bunch of great Asian recipes to check out. We've actually done a recipe from her before, so go check out the Chashu Bao episode if you haven't already. This drink is really refreshing and it's very simple to make, so I highly recommend making it to cool off and relax on a hot summer day. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know how it went if you decided to make it, and let me know if there's anything you want me to make next. Like the video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to this channel for more episodes of the Max AC channel. And remember, if you want to stay cool in the kitchen, turn your AC to the max and watch the Max AC channel.